Now that we've added the forms for nouns in our lexicon, we're ready to begin importing these rules. Where, again, this is our document number 3, all types of phrases and clauses. And we're in the noun section, tables 8, 9, and table 10. Table 11 is for adjectives. And when we look at these tables, okay, singular first mention, we say plural first mention, in English we say some. Singular routine, we say the person. Plural routine, we say the people. Now for both singular and plural, if it's routine, we say the. But we still need both of these rows because here TBTA will select the stem from the lexicon. Here it will select the plural form. So we need these. Singular interrogative, which person, it uses the stem. Plural interrogative, which people, uses the plural form. So we need all of these rows. You may remember earlier there was one row about a frame inferable, actually 2 rows, frame inferable singular and frame inferable plural. And we deleted those because in English frame inferable is the same as routine. But we need all of these rows. Now let's go to this proximity table. Singular near speaker and listener. Okay, we collapsed, back during the video that talked about the feature adjustment rules, we collapsed near speaker and listener to a new value called proximal. And we collapsed remote with insight to a new value called distal. So all of these have been collapsed. So we can delete these rows and change these features to match ours. For this video, I'm instead going to copy this table So now we have 2 tables for proximity. I want to save the original, but we won't import this original. I'm going to put an X right here, so we'll know not to import that one. Instead, we'll import this one. This number and name up here, those don't matter. It's this name here that TBTA will show us, and we'll import this one. So singular near speaker and listener we called proximal. And that'll be the stem. For near speaker and listener plural, we also, let's copy this. So plural proximal. And this one near speaker, we don't need this one. So let's delete this row. We can delete this one. Near listener, we can delete this. That's still proximal. Okay, remote with insight. Okay, we collapsed that to distal. And we collapsed this to distal. Remote out of sight, that's also distal, so we can delete this. Temporally near, that was changed to proximal, so we don't need this one anymore. Temporally near, plural. Temporally remote, singular. Temporally remote, plural. Contextually near with focus. Okay, this also is proximal, so we don't need this one. Contextually near with focus, plural. We don't need this one. Contextually near, this was changed to distal, which we already have, so we don't need this one. Plural contextually near, we can delete this one. So that's all we need for English. And polarity, singular negative. Okay, we do need, even though in both cases it's no man, okay, no man and no men. So in both cases it's no, but these rules will select the proper form from the lexicon. So we need to save these. So now let's import these three tables. Polarity, we want proximity, not the one with the X after it, and this one. So let's save this. And now we're ready to import those three tables. Let's go to Utilities, Import. That's document number 3, all types. That should be all types of phrases and clauses. And we want, okay, participant tracking, okay, not the one with the X. We want this proximity and polarity. All of the selected tables were imported from the Word document. And now let's go and look what that did for us. So here, in the nouns, there's now one phrase builder rule, and it has 3 tables. Each layer corresponds to a table in that document, so there's a layer for participant tracking. Okay, remember, participant tracking, proximity, and polarity. So layer 1 is participant tracking, layer 2, proximity, layer 3 is polarity. And what this does, so it scans through these tables. Okay, for participant tracking, so it scans through these tables, and anything that's before the parentheses will be put into a column. Okay, when TBTA names these columns, it keeps it very simple, just pre-nominal. If there were anything after the parentheses, but still inside the brackets, it would be post-nominal. So this A got inserted into the pre-nominal column, and it selects the stem, because we put stem here. Here, it puts in the word some, and it selects the plural form from the lexicon because of this plural. Here it puts in the word the, and selects the stem, and here it puts in the word the, and selects the plural form from the lexicon. Which person walked? So it puts in the word which in the pre-nominal and selects the stem, puts again which and selects the plural form. For generic, there's nothing before or after the parentheses, so it selects the plural form and nothing is in that column. And each one of these, each row is considered a rule. If we double click here, we can edit the name. It put in the features for us. So singular first mention, and it copies in the example, a person walked. If we go to this row, plural first mention, and here plural first mention. So it's building these for us. If we go to the second layer, this corresponds to the second table. So if we go to proximity, not the one with the X, we go to this other one, okay. So here it says singular proximal, it selects the stem and puts in the word this. Here it selects these and puts in the word these. If we double click here, singular proximal, and it copies in the example. And here, okay, this is the third layer, it corresponds to the third table, polarity. So it puts in the word no, pre-nominal, and it selects the stem from the lexicon. This one, for this row, it puts in the word no and selects the plural form from the lexicon. So that's how that works. We can make these wider. Okay. So now here we are at Nouns 1.1. This should say a person walked. We see it up there. Now this, remember, comes from what the MTT's translated right here. A person walked. So we want to match this sentence. So when we click generate, okay, we see a person, so that part matches. Walk, okay, it highlights in red what's wrong. So we're still missing this past tense form. If we rest our cursor here, it says Inserted by spell out rule nouns, generic, rule 1, build all NPs, layer 1, row 1, column 2. So if we go back to this, it's telling us it came from layer 1, row 1, column 2, prenominal. Okay, this isn't right. We'll come back and fix the verb, but I want to go to the next sentence. Okay, this one is saying some people walked. And if we click here, so it gets the sum. So this is layer 1, row 2, column 2. Layer 1, row 2, column 2 is sum. And then people, so person was changed to people by spell out rules, rule 1, layer 1, row 2, column 1. So there it selected the plural form from the lexicon. So some people, we still need this past tense form of the verb. Okay? We can keep going. The person walked. No person walked. This person walked. This is another this. Proximity is proximal. Okay, initially proximity was near speaker, but it was changed from near speaker to proximal by transfer grammar, feature adjustment rules, feature collapsing rules. So in our grammar introduction document and here in these sentences, we have no idea what you're going to collapse, what your target language will need and what it won't need. So we have these sentences with all the various values. Let's skip ahead a bit. Let's go this person, that person. Well, that's it for the nouns. Do we have one with no person? Oh, here. Yeah, nouns 1-4. We already did that. No person walked. So this one rule handles all of the things that we'll need for nouns, at least for now. We'll work on this verb in a minute, probably in the next video. I want to show you one more thing. To do this, okay, I'm going to delete this rule. Okay, for you, you can just watch now. Don't copy, don't follow along. I'm going to delete this rule. I want to show you something. So I'm deleting that rule. And now let's go to these tables. And let's make a copy of this table. And I'm going to make some changes just to show you something. Okay. I'm going to modify this one. Let's give this a name. We're going to import the table with AAA. But here's what I want to show you. Suppose you have, it's not very common to have discontinuous noun phrases, but it's very common to have discontinuous verb phrases. So I want to talk about that for a minute now. We can put anything we want in as many brackets as we want, and TBTA will import them all. So remember, the guideline is you put parentheses around the head noun and then brackets around the noun phrase. And you may have discontinuous phrases. If that's the case, no problem. You still put brackets around any part of the noun phrase. So let's pretend this is a discontinuous noun phrase. So here's a part of the noun phrase, and here's another part of the noun phrase. Here's the main noun phrase, and let's have some more at the end. So everything that's in brackets is now part of the noun phrase, and TBTA will import this. Again, this is, I can't imagine a noun phrase doing this, but it's very common for verb phrases to be discontinuous. So let's save this, and now let's go import the table that has the AAA, participant tracking with AAA. So we come over here. Okay, there are no noun rules right now, spell out rules. So import. We want this one with AAA. We're going to import just that one table. Okay, all of the selected tables were imported. And now if we go look here, nouns. Okay, these need to be a bit wider. Okay, so in that one row, let's put this down here again. Okay. Here we go. So XYZ, okay, the way this works, here's our noun. And the further we go this direction, the numbers increase. So prenominal 1 is closest to the noun, prenominal 2, then prenominal 3. Postnominal 1 is closest to the noun, postnominal 2. You can change these names. If you right-click, we'll call it XYZ. Postnominal XYZ. Okay, do you want your first noun phrase structure rule updated so that postnominal 2 will be changed to postnominal XYZ? Let's say yes. By the way, as TBTA was importing these, it also adds them to your phrase structure rule for noun phrases. We'll go look at that in a minute. So here, XYZ is part of the noun phrase, but it's discontinuous, so it's put in column prenominal 3. But you can change that column if you want. ABC is also part of the noun phrase, so it's put in here. A, this word A, is part of the actual noun phrase. It's in prenominal 1. Then our head noun, postnominal 1, and postnominal XYZ. So the point is, it's perfectly fine if your language has discontinuous phrases, discontinuous noun phrases, verb phrases, adjective phrases, etc. That's not a problem. You can still import these. You can modify these tables any way that you want. So let's say OK. Let's go look at our phrase structure rule for noun phrases. And you can see it put in these, okay. It put them in, but it didn't put them in the right order for us. We want prenominal 3 furthest from the noun, and prenominal 2. So it should go prenominal 1, prenominal 2, nominal 3. Postnominal 1, okay, our postnominal XYZ was inserted up here. Let's put that down here. Okay, and now if we go to nouns 1.1, okay, so we see these. Now if you actually want these out of the noun phrase, that's up to you. You'll need to write movement rules or something to move these out. But TBTA inserted them. So prenominal 3 is XYZ. We can compare down here. XYZ, ABC, A, and then the head noun, and then ABC. It imports lowercase. And then XYZ here. So discontinuous phrases isn't a problem. That's enough for this video. In the next video, we'll start working on that verb phrase. After I end this video, I'm going to delete this and delete this phrase builder rule and go back to the original phrase builder rule. Okay?